Good morning, everybody! Good morning, it's JPR, and I'm back with another Pokemon Top 5. Now, there have been tons of Pokemon spin-off games throughout history. However, today we're only going to be talking about the top 5 best ones. Now, I know what you guys are going to say, Jay Witz, oh, he already did a video like this months ago, so why should we listen to you and watch this? Well, I do have my own opinions that are a bit different. Plus, not everybody buys the spin-off games, so you need to look at many people's opinions to decide which ones they should buy. But that's enough out of me, let's get to the list. Number 5. Pokemon Snap. I don't think I've ever met a person who did not like Pokemon Snap. It's a fun little game where you ride around in a little cart for Professor Oak and take pictures of Pokemon. It is pretty short, there's only about 60 Pokemon you can take pictures of, and it might seem a little bit childish, but it's still a lot of fun. One of the best things about the game to me is that you can actually ride through many different environments and see the kind of Pokemon that would live there like in real life. Back in Generation 1, most Pokemon lived in tall grass, but that is not the case here. You can actually see an environment that's suitable for these Pokemon. There are some pretty big and awesome Pokemon that you'll see in this game that will blow your mind, and there are also some that will give you some funny reactions when you stun them for a picture. The only downside is that Professor Oak can be kind of a jerk when he's judging my photos. I know I had that Staryu in the middle of the picture, bro. I know he was in the middle of the picture. Cheating me out of my points. Number 4. The Pokepark series. More specifically, Pokepark 2. Now I will admit, this game does have kind of a childish storyline and it's pretty simple, but that doesn't mean it's not fun. I mean, after all, we are talking about Pokemon, which is supposed to be a children's franchise. But the main thing that wins me over Pokepark is the amazing battles that take place inside of it. Some of them are laughably easy, and some of them are actually pretty tough towards the end of the game. The battles did get a little bit repetitive in the first Pokepark game since you could only use Pikachu, but Pokepark 2 does extend on that by letting you choose Snivy, Tepig, or Oshawott. In addition, Pokepark 2 introduces new features such as swimming around in the world and battling legendary Pokemon. Number 3. Pokemon Conquest. Pokemon Conquest is a unique game because it actually seems to be more geared towards an older audience as opposed to a younger audience. Experienced Pokemon fans will have a lot of fun learning the new strategic ways to battle. It is still turn-based like the main games, but there's a lot more action that goes into it. Getting used to all the new mechanics at the beginning of the game can be kind of stressful, but as it goes on to get used to it, it becomes an extremely addicting game. The post-game is rather disappointing, and it is a pretty short game, but still, nonetheless, I recommend it. Number 2. Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. What I love about these games is that they actually show your Pokemon in 3D on the big screen, and they actually give you a good storyline to go with it. And if you're one of those people who wants Pokemon to make a game where you play as a Team Rocket Grunt and steal people's Pokemon, this is about the best thing you're gonna get. You may not actually be a bad guy in this game, but you do get to steal the villain's Pokemon. Both games are quite challenging, and the battles can get quite strategic with the double battle format. I personally prefer Colosseum over XD just due to the fact that there's an older protagonist, some physical violence, and a pretty good plot twist at the end. But still, both games are incredible, and if you still own a GameCube, this is one that you gotta pick up. Number 1. The Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorer series. Now before I get into praising these games, let me just say that you might want to pick up Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers the Sky over the other two, just because it does give you special episodes at the end, and it does kind of fill in some of the plot gaps. The Explorer series is quite challenging, fun, emotional, and it has an amazing plot to it. One of Pokemon's weak points is that it never really does have that great of a post-game, even for the main series. But the Explorer series actually does have an amazing post-game to it. Unlike the Rescue games, this trio of games actually explains how you turn to a Pokemon at the end, and features an amazing head-to-head battle for the fate of the world. Many of the dungeons are quite long and mysterious, but it is a lot of fun to explore them all. Another thing is that all the characters pretty much have a lovable personality. You really do feel like you can be friends with just about all of them. There's definitely more emotion packed into this game than any other game in the Pokemon series. So I firmly believe that this is the greatest Pokemon spin-off game.